So welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Without further ado, let's get started. Here you will find that children don't wear uniforms to school. I want to believe this is very similar to the USA as well. You know, you wear your own clothes to school. Unlike where I've grown up in Nigeria and then in London as well, where in high school, which we call secondary school, you wear a school uniform, which is usually a skirt or black trousers and a sweatshirt or a polo neck shirt. And then in private schools, they would wear skirts, a patterned skirt and a blazer or a suit and maybe a tie on top of that. But here, high school children, primary school children wear your own clothes to school. And what's kind of strange at first, because what happens is you don't know who's actually going to school and who isn't. I mean, in the mornings you would see kids outside, and I guess the only thing you could use to spot a student is if they were holding a backpack or something like that. That brings us to summertime dressing for students, especially in high school, can be very, my eyes will see no evil kind of thing, because kids are free to wear anything, and by anything I mean anything, as long as you don't show your shoulders. Adults, parents, teachers, everyone, we see all manner of stuff, from bum shorts to skin on show in the summertime. And sometimes I think it's too much. There should be some kind of restrictions, nothing too hard, but just keep your short, you know, at mid-thigh and not above bottom area, because that's what we see. And I mean, it just helps to keep distractions away, and kids are not doing what they shouldn't be doing when they're 12 years old. So another thing you may or may not find strange is we pay GST on everything that we buy. And GST is goods and services tax. From living in Nigeria and living in the UK, I'm used to, I want cookies that cost £1. £1 is all I have in my pocket. £1 is all I need to buy my cookies. So you get used to that, obviously. Say you go grocery shopping and you've already calculated everything that you need to buy, and then you get to the till. What you see is not what you get, or what you see is not what you pay, because GST tax will be added onto what you buy. And GST in Alberta, where I live, is 5%. It varies in all the provinces. 5%, I want to say, is the lowest rate in Canada. So if you wanted to move somewhere that's got the lowest GST, you might want to consider Alberta. So I think other places might be 7%, 10% or something like that. Or there's like various taxes that go on top of your simple bread. You might get GST and PST and HST and all these taxes that every government body wants to take from you. So that's one thing that you will find kind of like, why didn't no one tell me? Yeah. Another thing I found strange when I moved here was the surface rail. I am talking about Canadian Pacific Railway. So this is a rail that carries large goods and containers of goods and things, just many things that have been imported from maybe the US or other provinces. The trains go across province, so I guess from the port. So these trains go across town, and they can really be disruptive. And the annoying thing with them is that they don't just cross for a minute, they cross for a good 5 minutes even, or more, depending on, I guess, how long the train is on that day or that particular time, or how much goods that train is pulling. And I've been on my way to work and been trapped behind this train. Well, mostly they go across the town, say off-peak times, but I have been driving at rush hour and the train is crossing. I mean, the city there's a lot of industrial areas, and a lot of things are not in the remote places. You can drive by the industrial areas. In Canada, you do your own recycling. And what I mean by that is when you go to the stores and you buy a bottle of Pepsi and it costs $1, you're not going to pay $1. You're going to pay $1 for, buying the Pepsi, and then you are going to pay, obviously, your tax and GST, and then you are going to pay a bottle deposit fee. So that fee might be 20 cents, it might be 10 cents, it might be 35 cents. And what happens is that fee is put on top of your Pepsi just so that you are encouraged to recycle. So yes, they have bottle depots where you can go and return your empty bottles, empty plastic bottles, empty glass bottles. So for those of us who drink Maltina every Friday, you can return your Maltina bottles. So you put together all your gathered bottles, cartons and things like that. So you dump them out on the counter where someone is sorting them out with speed, and it smells. So your count might be 10 cents and you might have about 50 cans you've collected. At the end of the day, you would come back home with about $20, $30 from recycling your bottles. That's one thing we practice here, is active recycling. So when you have a drink and you throw the packaging in the bin, it's like, there goes 25 cents. You know, you could have recycled that. One thing that I noticed here and also in the US, but never elsewhere, and sometimes it can be really frustrating, annoying, and dangerous. So if you're a driver here, you have to be cautious. You have to be on the lookout for pedestrians. You have to care for the pedestrians. You're turning right, the lights are green. You can either go straight, right, or left if you're turning left. But what happens is pedestrians who are crossing in the same direction that you are facing or going away from are also given a green light to cross. So it's dangerous for the pedestrians, it's dangerous for everyone, because you just have to look out for so much at the same time. And I really find that traffic design really strange and not too friendly to anyone at all. I mean, my suggestion is just give the pedestrians a good exclusive 30 seconds to cross, or 20 seconds, without any opposing traffic or oncoming traffic that might be posing danger, and I feel like everyone is much safer. Okay, so another thing is when you work at a grocery store, sitting down is a no-no. So those that work at the counter, at the tills, you stand all day. You stand all day. I don't know why, but yes, you have to stand while serving. You have to stand while scanning. You know how in Sainsbury's or in Aldi, the person at the till gets to sit down in a high chair and scan your goods. But here, they stand all day long. So 8 hours shift or 10 hours, you're on your feet when you work jobs like that. In banks, though, they do sit down. I think in registries, they do sit down as well. But in all the stores, all the superstores, and, well, I don't know about the convenience stores, but you know, your supermarkets and your grocery stores, you are standing, whether there's customers, whether there aren't customers. I've worked in a fast food place where you had to stand whether you were busy or not. Well, I don't expect to sit down in kind of a restaurant scene, but say for a job where your work is literally just right behind the desk the whole day. I mean, a high chair or a stool wouldn't break the bank, it wouldn't bust the budget for the company. So that's kind of something strange, and you probably wouldn't even think about it until you come here and see that it's not made available. So one thing I noticed here is their love for trucks. And growing up, even till now, when you say truck, it's so many different vehicle kinds or axle kinds that I think of. But these trucks are like the men love the trucks, okay? The guys love their trucks. And I'm talking, I don't know the specs and stuff. So you got the Fords, the Rams, trucks, yeah. Trucks are what they used to oppress you on the road. So if you think, oh, my Lamborghini, I mean, those cars are nice, they're toys and whatnot, but like, if you really mean business here, you get yourself a four-wheeler. Is it four-wheel they call it? Something? Yes, then you're talking business. And these trucks are pretty pricey, but they're really good. These trucks are really, really rugged vehicles for going through the snow, going through the rough, rocky terrains and stuff like that. So they're highly valued here. So you see the trucks on the fast lane because it's like they're high off the ground, they're taller. And even in the snow, you see the truck drivers going like vroom, vroom, as if they are, exempt from any dangers that may be caused by snow and ice, which we know isn't true. There's a lot of people who work in construction, so those trucks are really useful to just put your tools in the back. You can utilize them for so much, those trucks. Alright guys, that is everything I have for you today. I hope you found it helpful. Hope you found it interesting as well. And again, my disclaimer, this is my experience based on the city that I live in. Let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed this video, please give this a thumbs up. Click on the thumbs up button. Yeah, let me know if you have any comments, anything, any questions. Yeah, thank you so much for watching today. Have a nice day, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.